Hey yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jay coming at you live Friday night with another episode of Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And yesterday I left y'all in a hurry because my time was up. Um, but I was talking about how, here you go, what's going on? Um, I was talking about how, where did I left off yesterday? I was stressing about how imagination was one of the things that going on. Michelle, good to have you, girl. Um, how imagination is one of those very important things that we take for granted and we don't use as much anymore. Great to have you, Andrea. Thank you for your presence. Um, and how most of the times we are our own biggest inhibitors, and being stuck in our heads is one of the biggest challenges and obstacles that we face on a daily basis, and it's all based on comfort zone. And how and the end of the story yesterday was how Hall was, because he missed his friend. He kept on thinking about him and what him was up to, and he was wondering whether him was ready to move on and get out of the cheeseless station and come with him to enjoy all this abundance of cheese and the cheese station N, right? So I'll pick up where I left off in the story. So had Hem ever decided to let go and move on? Had he ever entered the maze and discovered what could make his life better? Or was Hem still hemmed or was Hem still hemmed in because he would not change? Ho thought about going back again to Cheese Station C to see if he could find Hem, assuming that Ho could find his way back there. If he found Hem, he thought he might be able to show him how to get out of his predicament. But Ho realized that he had already tried to get his friend to change. Hem had to find his own way, beyond his comforts and past his fears. No one else could do it for him or talk to him into it. He somehow had to see the advantage of changing himself. So over here, what the author is talking about is, if you think about it, how many times have you figured something out, whatever that was, and you're like, oh my god, like I want all my friends to know about this, and you went back to your friends and you started sharing, and no, for them it was more important to prove themselves right, to prove that where they were is the right position, that all these whatever predicament they found themselves in is because life is not fair or the world is not fair or everything is rigged, right? And instead of taking it upon themselves to do something for themselves, and change themselves and shift their paradigms to see things in a different way that empowers them um, so that they can what's going on, Sammy, so that they can move forward in life, right? Because check this out, he said it was up to him to find his own way out of his comforts and past his fears. Him is now responsible to see the advantage of changing himself. That's right, Sammy. You are here now. So Hall knew he had left a trail for him and that he could find his way if he could just read the handwriting on the wall, right? He went over and wrote down a summary of what he had learned on the largest wall of Cheese Station N. He drew a large piece of cheese around all the insights he had become aware of and smiled as he looked at what he had learned. So I encourage you guys to write this down, or if you buy the book, it's on page 74. So I'll share the handwriting on the wall. Change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. Monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. Adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. Change. Move with the cheese. Enjoy change. Savor the adventure and enjoy the taste of new cheese. And lastly, be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again and again because they keep moving the cheese. So you see, change is not a one-time thing. Hey, what's going on, Jason? Long time no see. So cheese is not change and this constant movement and improvement and evolution is not a one-time thing. It's not like, oh, I grew, I've arrived, and now I'm set. It never is like that. There's always gonna be a next step. There's always gonna be something changing. We live in a constant evolution of change. We live in an ocean of motion. Yes, Sammy, there you go. Exactly. Change is the only constant thing in life. Absolutely. Therefore, the best thing you can do is keep changing with the changes. You yourself. Who has to change? Yourself. Hall realized how far he had come since he had been with Hem in Cheese Station C, but knew it would be easy for him to slip back if he got too comfortable. You see, he now knows that getting comfortable is the most dangerous thing that he can do. So each day he inspected Cheese Station N to see what the condition of his cheese was. He was going to do whatever he could do to avoid being surprised by unexpected change. While Hall still had a great supply of cheese, he often went out into the maze and explored new areas to stay in touch with what was happening around him. He knew it was safer to be aware of his real choices than to isolate himself in his comfort zone. Wow. Then Hall heard what he thought was the sound of movement out in the maze. As the noise grew louder, he realized that someone was coming. Could it be that Hem was arriving? Was he about to turn the corner? Hall said a little prayer, and hoped, as he had many times before, that maybe, at last, his friend was finally able to move with the cheese and enjoy it. So that is actually the end of the book, of the story portion of the book. The book is a little longer, but you see, like the last page, the author is saying is giving us a sneak peek at what life looks like for continued success and continued growth, right? He talks about how now didn't allow himself to slip back into his comfort zone, and is always on the lookout, and is always monitoring the condition of his cheese stations to see how things are changing. Not only that, but he uses his resources and his extra energy to go out into the maze again, to explore for changes, to be connected with the current changes that are happening around him, and to be aware and connected, so that there's nothing that's going to happen that's going to catch him completely by surprise. And he's always ready to adapt, to change, and move. So my question to you, as we head into this blessed Memorial Day weekend, thanking all our servicemen for everything they've done for us, because even freedom hasn't been free in this current world that we live in. My invitation to everybody is, what are you allowing yourself, or how are you allowing yourself to stay in your comfort zone? How smartly are you arguing against your own progress and growth to stay comfortable where you are? Telling yourself that it's okay, that it's better to be safe than sorry, yet you know that your dream lies outside of your safety zone, that you actually want to venture out and see what else is out there for you in this big wide world. What if you are actually playing yourself small because you don't believe in yourself enough to step out and share what you have in your heart? And how are you arguing yourself against really stepping out, when you actually, the best thing you could do is just simply step out? And even if you look like a fool in the beginning, because we all do, with time and with constant steady improvement, you are going to be sharing yourself powerfully to the world, and being the gift that you were sent here to be, instead of keeping everything to yourself just because you're scared. My challenge to you is, break out of your fears, break out of your old beliefs, and move forward in faith, with the full belief that you are here to do and be great. We are not in this world to just simply pay bills and go to the grave. We're here to share with one another who we are, who we authentically are, who we truly are, and give our gifts to the world freely. That's what we give, freely. So with that, guys, love you all for sharing your precious time of the day with me. Have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.